For 72 seconds, on a summer night in 1977, a telescope in Ohio heard something the universe was never supposed to say. It came from an empty patch of sky, 30 times louder than the silence of space. And it has never come again. Scientists gave it one name, scrawled in red ink on a printout. That single word became astronomy's greatest unsolved mystery. Wow! If the signal was natural, it would rewrite the laws we thought we understood. If it was not natural, everything changes. Because nothing in known physics should produce a signal that clean, that narrow, and that loud, from a place with nothing in it. For nearly 50 years, the greatest minds in science have tried to explain it, and not one of them can prove what it was. 1977. In rural Ohio stands a radio telescope the size of 3 football fields, nicknamed the Big Ear. Its mission is simple and staggering: to scan the heavens for a single message from another civilization somewhere in the stars. It listens on one special frequency, the quiet channel any intelligent species would logically choose to broadcast across the galaxy. Night after night, the great dish hears only the faint hiss of an empty, indifferent cosmos. Nothing ever answers back. Then a printout comes back changed. 6 characters, rising and falling in a pattern no natural noise had ever made. An astronomer stares at the sequence, 6EQUJ5, grabs a red pen, and writes one word beside it. Wow. The signal behaved exactly as a message from deep space should. It rose, peaked, and faded as the Earth slowly turned. That fingerprint ruled out everything on the ground. Not a plane, not a satellite, not interference. It matched the sky itself. And when they traced its direction, it pointed toward Sagittarius, the crowded heart of our galaxy, and hundreds of billions of stars. For a few brief seconds, humanity may have been looking straight at the source of a signal that was never meant for us. So the astronomers did the obvious thing. They aimed the telescope back at that patch of sky, and they listened. Nothing. They tried the next night, and the night after, for years, with instruments far more powerful than the Big Ear. The signal never returned. And in that silence, the theories began to multiply, each one stranger than the last. A passing comet, some argued, releasing a hidden cloud of gas that happened to glow on exactly the right frequency. But the numbers never quite fit. The comet was far too faint, and the signal was far, far too strong. Others blamed a distant star or a burst of radiation we had never catalogued. No explanation ever closed the case. Here is what we can say for certain. The signal was real, recorded by a trusted machine, and it came from the sky. It was not an error. It was not an effete error. It was not the Earth. And after half a century, no natural cause fully accounts for it. Then, years later, one astronomer traced its likely origin to a single sun-like star, thousands of light-years from our own. A star not so different from our Sun, of a kind we now know can hold planets in quiet orbit around it. In an instant, the mystery changed. No longer a random point in the dark, but something closer to an address. But a signal heard only once can never truly be proven. To confirm it, we would need to hear it again. And in 50 years of listening, with ever greater machines, we never have. The sky has stayed perfectly, patiently silent. So the question still hangs in the dark toward Sagittarius. A trick of physics, or the only word we ever missed.